What's up, guys? So we're looking at Lemonade here. Beautiful setup here. This is I think going to be a big mover in 2025. Now, the recent post that I made on Lemonade, I kind of laid out exactly where we are right now in terms of the phasing, right? So we have this phase 1 here, right? Phase 1 is an insanely massive accumulation phase, okay? So this took quite some time to develop, right? We got into this range of price, you can say around February 2022, and we go sideways and weren't able to break above and hold until October 2024. Right, so well over 2 years here. We're talking about 2 years, over 2.5 years going sideways. And phase two, right? What we have here, phase two, is this beautiful explosive move to the upside. Okay, so these are setups that I love to see. Right, we get this explosive move, and what we would love to see from a technical perspective is a nice, smooth, smart consolidation. And that's our phase three. And that's what we're seeing right now happening on Lemonade, right? So I'm going to pull up the 8 EMA and the 21 EMA. And it looks like after we get this massive breakout, we're just coming back to the 8 EMA, the 21 EMA, right? We have this small little gap between the two. Can the stock potentially go a little bit lower, dipping towards 33? That is a potential. It could be a possibility. But overall, right, the phase that we're in, this phase three, this is what's loading up right now in order to give us a longer term move to the upside, right? I do think in 2025 we're going to see Lemonade go higher. And I think that this phase three here is kind of giving us the hint, right? We're getting that smart consolidation downward. Depending on how you look at it, right? I'm going to get these EMAs out of the way, right? Depending on how you look at it, this is some sort of maybe a wedge or a falling wedge pattern, or maybe some sort of a channel to the downside. You could look at it a few different ways. But it looks great. This is what we want to see, right? The volume here, it's clear that when we got this breakout, that increase of volume is people buying shares, driving the price higher. We don't see as much. We see outflows going, of course. That's why the price is going down. But it's smartly going down, if you could see what I'm saying here. It's not collapsing completely. If you look at the wicks happening here, each week there's people buying at the end of the week, majority of the time here. And that's indicating that there's still buyers in play, right? There's still some demand in the stock. So I love the looks of this. As you zoom in, it just gets better and better, right? You go to the 2-day time frame and it's starting to look like it's potentially getting ready to curl to the upside. But this is overall what we're looking at. This is the phase three move that we were talking about in my previous video on Lemonade. And maybe we get a breakout to the upside, and then there's this potential resistance up here, which is something I'm aware of, right? We stalled in this range, right? Couldn't really break up over this area. Even right here as well, we got some resistance here as well you could look at, right? So let's say we get this breakout, short-term breakout to the upside. We might get something that looks potentially like this, right? We get this follow through, great move, come back, retest this wedge here, then we come back, weaken this zone, come back up. And what's going to end up happening, and I've been thinking about this, is potentially, I'm not saying it's going to end up happening, but what could potentially end up happening is we have some sort of a cup pattern developing, right? A more longer term pattern that develops, and this will look gorgeous, especially after we have, this explosive move to the upside. Look at this massive base that we created. We get the breakout, and now we start to develop this type of wedge that leads into a cup, which eventually will lead into, you know, a lot higher of a move going into later on in 2025. So I hope this video, you know, comes of value to you. But this is what I'm looking at here, right? These are the levels that I think are the most important in the stock's price. Um, Starting first and foremost, again, with this wedge, we want to see us get that breakout, and then we'll see how we react to this $43 to $44 zone. If we stall in this range and get a rejection, there's a possibility we might come back to retest this wedge. Maybe even this area, $39, right? We'll see what happens here if we curl back to the upside and hang around this range, right? Again, the 43 to $44 range. I think that, you know, that'll be another indicator telling us, you know, okay, the trend has changed. We'll then, in that case, have been creating a higher low if we start to develop that higher low in this area, right? Something like that. And then we'll continue to look to break this resistance and then break that resistance and then eventually break this $50, 50 to 53, 50 to $54 resistance above around this range. So that's kind of my roadmap here, and this has given me everything for a phase 3. We get this beautiful consolidation, and then eventually we can look forward to seeing like how we react after that. But if this is a type of scenario that's going to play out, I think Lemonade targets got to increase drastically towards, you know, the $70 to $80 range. Maybe somewhere we were, you know, stalling about back in 2020 and 2021. So that's the breakdown. I hope you guys enjoy. Peace.